so in DC where he HDS in
What is
root
it?
F Joe oid ovrhsl.
What does it mean?
Um, I think what I was trying to say was that so there were some dumb moments in this episode, but it was over. No, there were some dumb
Uh, uh,
moments,
uh,
but
uh,
overall it was a good episode.
where does that come from?
That's
So,
that's the sentiment I had in my head when writing out this text. I was also like four like tall boys in, and
but okay,
like hating myself in the
I,
bathroom of
I
a comedy club.
I understand you were drunk, but what does I I got the so in Ruby, uh, I got the so in Ruby part, but then what does the rest mean? The what I think that was like what if
I think no, I think I was literally trying to say so there were some dumb moments, but overall it was a good episode.
oh but
Oh
overall
wait. There were some dumb moments in it, but it was good overall.
but
Maybe.
it was good overall. Yeah, I hey, I see it.
welcome, welcome to this episode of the Final Brothers Talk Ruby. Don't drink alcohol. Don't do it.
Don't drink
Just don't.
alcohol, correct.
Yeah.
Ever.
Today we're going to talk about. I mean, that's the lesson of this episode, so it really fits in. Really thematic ties here. Today we're going to talk about Volume 6, Episode 6.
Wait,
Um,
wait, what was that tie-in? Uh
did I cut out?
no, I don't get it. How did how did him drinking alcohol negatively affect it in any way?
What do you mean negatively affect the plot? You're an alcoholic. Go sit in the middle of the road and get hit by a thing tied
But
to a
no, I don't
motorcycle.
I don't I don't get it.
Um, I mean that wasn't the negative lesson of the episode. I mean they kind of did like a theme where it's like yeah it's bad to be an alcoholic. Of course it's bad to be an alcoholic. Uh, but
But what if
I
it
mean that's
wasn't
the
bad to be an alcoholic?
what if it wasn't? What do you mean?
I don't
What if what's the best Silent Hill? Or for this episode, I should say, what's the best mini dungeon from Ocarina of Time?
Jabu Jabu. Wait, no, fuck, that's an actual dungeon. What even are the mini dungeons in
Um
Ocarina of
um
Time?
my favorite particular is underneath the well in
You
Ocarina of
mean
Time.
underneath the well?
Underneath the well in like
God,
the
man,
tunnel waterways in
I
Ocarina of
fucking
Time where re-deads scream and you can't barely move when they scream and you have to wait for the scream to wear off before you can move again. My
yeah,
favorite Ocarina of Time mini dungeon.
my favorite Legend of Zelda dungeon under the well. What did you call it? Under the
Literal
well?
isn't that it's a literal thing in the game.
What did you call it? Under the well?
Yeah.
It's called bottom of the well.
Bottom of a fuck I don't remember the exact name. Why is that why are you making fun of me?
I don't know.
Why are you
I
fun of
just
me?
never heard it called
I haven't played the
under the
game in like
well.
5 years.
Okay.
I don't
I
know.
don't. I don't actually remember what the other dungeons or what the other. I know there is another mini dungeon or two. Oh, there's like spy. Is Spider House a mini dungeon? Wait, no,
That's
that's
Majora's
Majora's
Mask, I
Mask.
think. And there's an ice place. I remember that.
Oh, the ice cave. Yeah, by Jabu.
Yeah.
Uh,
Um. So
and
yeah.
then
What do you think about them saying that this episode was written? Well, the story, the concept for this episode was written before Volume 1.
They said this episode was written before
They didn't
Volume One.
say like the episode itself. They said the concept for this episode was created before Volume
I
One
mean, I
was
don't,
put
I
into
don't
production.
see. This was just like a side story. It's like a filler. I mean, this was literally just filler. But
It was it was it was filler to get. They needed a way to get the this whole Silver Eyes thing naturally into the story. So they're like, hey, remember that filler thing we came up with years ago? Let's just throw it in now, and that way she can activate the Silver Eyes, and we can get that out of the way.
yeah, did you?
But it
Hey,
wasn't
when
bad. I didn't think like I'm saying this like snarkily, but it wasn't bad. It was fine.
I actually, yeah, I
I thought
actually
it was
thought this
good.
episode was.
Yeah.
I thought this episode was pretty good. Like,
Yeah.
all things considered, the entire time I was like, yeah, this is going pretty good. Like, there wasn't any like the pacing was pretty good. The the writing wasn't bad, and people spoke almost like normal people, which is an
Um.
achievement.
Insert clever bit here where them being all apathetic because of the Grim is just their Volume 5 versions. I'm
Haha.
funny and clever.
Uh,
That's it.
oh, the
Um
yeah. What was I gonna say? Something about when she like first did the Silver Eyes thing. Before that happened, I was like, everyone was laying on the floor, and I'm like, I said out loud, I'm like, Silver Eyes, and then it happened like
oh yeah, of
10 seconds
course.
later, and I was like, yeah,
I feel like it was like a huge thing. Like the first time it happened, everyone had the same reaction as Cinder, where everyone went, "What?"
and now it's
Like
like,
everyone watching it, and it was like this crazy thing. Second time it happened, everyone was just like so dead by that point. The second time was in the Volume 5 final battle thing, right? And everyone
yeah,
was just like, because it didn't happen in Volume 4, I don't think. But so yeah, everyone was just like so like everyone in the watching the show was just so like dead at that point that no one even cared that it happened. This time I thought it made sense because that's the whole reason they created this arc.
episode
So
mini arc.
yeah, this little mini arc, good mini arc, but yeah, it's
Yeah,
it. The only reason it exists it was as a conduit to get the Silver Eye thing out in the water. At first I was like, how did she not notice that Ruby had silver eyes up to this point? And then I realized she probably doesn't see color
yeah,
through
she
those
does
goggle
not.
things.
They actually did show that. They showed something from her perspective, and she sees in monochrome.
Yeah, that's actually good. Like I was like, I didn't even think of that. The first time, I'm like, why the fuck would she be asking what color your eyes are? She's right there. She was there the whole time. And then I'm like, wait a minute, she sees in like the weird thing.
Yeah,
So that
the
that
show is slowly gaining my trust back.
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
slowly
yeah.
like,
Um,
yeah, maybe they
it
thought of
it
that.
it,
Yeah, yeah.
it was gaining my trust back until they're driving away and they're talking and then Yang
Yang
stops
stops.
the motorcycle to say a point and then continues driving.
Why not just? Oh
Why
my
the
god,
fuck did she stop?
I was dying. What is going on? Anyway, whatever.
Um,
And then she's like, what
there was something else like that in this episode, and I couldn't remember what it was.
was it
There
when
was
she
something
threw
else
the
like that.
book? Because that was weird.
That was weird too. I don't know why she threw the book. There was something else. I don't remember what. There was something else. I'm like, why did you do that? I don't remember. Whatever.
I feel like the real MVP of this episode was Oscar, who did not get the fucking sickness and just somehow did the entire tire thing on his own.
I think it has something to do with like Ozpin being inside of him. That's why he wasn't affected. Like Ruby kind of didn't. Ruby got it, but she was a lot less like prone to it, which I assume is because of the silver eyes. Because the old woman,
Could just be people
didn't.
with strong willpower.
Yeah, like the old woman with who had the silver eyes, did not get it at all. So yeah, right. Like I don't remember her doing anything that was like. That's
That's the
the
sound
effect.
she makes. Yeah.
That's what Yang sounds like this episode. Um, yeah, I thought all the crow stuff was very good because it was like I don't know, it's like the writers remembered, oh yeah, this character is like an alcoholic. Like we made
Yeah.
that a thing about him. Oh yeah, he's not just like the best fighter that's just kind of there like guiding them through everything and not washed up anymore. Like he comes in volume 3 and like the camera is like stumbling with him when he's first introduced. And now it's like and then like by the time like even volume 4 I'd say, which I am a huge defender of, it was like they just kind of forgot that like a huge part of his character was that he was like an extremely like terribly functioning alcoholic. But now they remember that. But it was also exaggerated by the was it just called the apathy? Was that what it was
I
called, or the
think so.
thing? Yeah, yeah. So it was obviously accentuated by that, but it's like the show remembers. Oh yeah, this guy is not just the best guy ever.
He's the worst guy ever.
Yeah, and I thought
uh,
that was pretty good. I thought it was pretty well done. Um, yeah, yeah, it was great. I don't know what else to say about that. I thought it was good. It was no complaints.
I don't
Yeah.
know. Anything else to say? That's
Yes. So my favorite part of the episode was obviously when Ruby unlocked her Patronus from Harry Potter that she can only use when she thinks of her friends and family, and her friends are in danger, and she can do that when she thinks about the people that she loves the most. So she can unlock her Harry Potter Patronus. You haven't seen Harry Potter, so you don't know what I'm talking about, but
I
it's
have seen Harry
just this.
Potter.
It's just the same thing. That's it. There's no difference between the Silver Eyes and the Patronus, except less people can use Silver Eyes. And yeah,
It sounds like eye powers to me.
well, the Patronus isn't an eye power; it's just a spell. But
Well,
yeah. So the Silver Eyes, they either are just the Sharingan and they make people go blind over time, or someone forcibly removed her silver eyes. The old woman.
will we find out? Maybe in the next episode.
My I don't know. My theory. I think that someone probably like maybe it's could it be that I would say someone removed her eyes, but then I'm like, wait a minute, she wouldn't be able to see through the goggles. Like if someone removed her eyes, like if she went
They could be
blind,
wired into
okay,
her
maybe she
brain.
could.
They
Maybe.
have the
I don't know.
technology.
It could be an Atlas technology. I don't know. But yeah, because I was like saying like they're like I remember back in Volume 4 they were talking about how like Ruby had silver eyes, the villains, and they're like, yeah, we've dealt with her kind before, and everyone was thinking Summer, but then I'm like, could be this old woman.
Hmm. It could be.
Yeah,
You bring up a good point.
yeah. So then maybe they like I'm gonna be a Naruto guy and rip out your eyes and take them for myself. And then she's like, and then yeah, um, yeah. I guess that's pretty much all for this episode. It was good. It was just the Legend of Zelda mini dungeon, but
The ice caves.
nice. What do you think? I don't know if you've heard this theory, but what do you think of the theory that I think much less so now. I think before this episode I was like firmly on the board with it that this is where Torchwick and Neo are from, and that like they somehow got out and like just like they had nothing, so they like turned to crime. But I and they were like the same had like the Ren and Nora childhood friend kind of thing. I think much less so after this episode, like because they left and they're never going to address it again, like most likely. But before this episode, I thought it was pretty plausible, especially since they decided to introduce Neo that episode, and then there was like a red-haired boy and a brown-haired girl in the picture. So I don't know. What do you think?
Ya sa biya ba bu ba ba bu ba da bo ba 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 ba.